beating Ohio State was the highlight.
Yeah.
Can you describe what that meant to that team and what it means moving forward this year?
I feel like that game right there, it meant a lot as to our team. Also to the university as well. You know, going on the road at Ohio State and pretty much being the talk that we was going to lose that game because we was like 6-5 at the time, and I think 7-5 at the 6-5 at the time. You know, so I feel like when we came out, we pretty much told each other like we don't have nothing to lose. So like, let's just go out and just try to like ruin that season and just dominate them as best as we can.
What allowed you, even in a rougher season, a down year, to have that success against Ohio State as a team?
Like I said, it meant a lot to us. You know, especially like as a team standpoint. Really, just like the doubt of like everybody who had against us. So like going out there and pretty much just dominating them in their own stadium, you know, that pretty much showed like how tough we are, and you know, that right there just going to give us a good lead to this year.
You said a lot of people doubted. Do you feel like the Ohio State players before the game thought they were going to win?
Yeah, for sure. Even like that morning of the game. So I woke up that morning. It's a funny story. I woke up that morning of the game, 6 a.m. And for some reason I just turned on the news and just turning on the news and watching the news and just hearing like a lot of people just doubting us, even from like our own fans was doubting us. So at that point in time, I feel like when it was time to go, we pretty much just huddled up, had a talk, and we pretty much just said, man, that's all we got, that's all we need. Everybody here, whoever got on that bus with us, like that's all we need right here to go out and compete.
Jerry Smith recently said he vowed he would not lose to Michigan. Reaction to that?
I ain't really got no reaction to it. All I can say is that see y'all in November. If that's how you feel, that's how you can feel. But when November come around and it's time to play, we're gonna see them.
This is all the 23 Ohio State players that have watched you guys win the national championship. What was it like for you to watch Ohio State?
First, I would like to, I congratulate them on the win, but it's not no real win if y'all ain't beat us. So, but I'm gonna congratulate them on their win. But this year it's gonna be different.
Were I can't imagine any Michigan player would be rooting for Ohio State, even though they're in the Big Ten. What was you hoping they would lose? What was your thought?
I'm gonna say yeah for sure. I was hoping for them to lose, but at the end of the day, they won, they deserved it, they worked hard for it, so can't take anything away from them.
One last thing about the rivalry. After the game, obviously there was the thing with the flag planting. I don't know if you were involved with that. What's your take on it months later?
So first, I'm going to say I was one of the guys that was involved with it. A lot of people think I was trying to actually plant the flag. I wasn't trying to plant the flag. I actually was trying to just run around the field with the flag, and as me running around with the flag, I got pushed and things like that, so I ended up talking trash. Next flag ended up coming out my hand, and the whole scuffle, turned out. But looking back on that, I probably got like 2 reviews on it. I feel like I could have did a better job as a leader of like not letting that like get out like that. Pretty much just celebrating with my teammates and things like that. But at the same time, it's like I feel like that right there. It's pretty much why people come to Michigan or Ohio State is because of rivalries and, atmosphere like that. I feel like that right there is going to be a good lead going into, this year game.
You said it's not a real national title if they didn't beat you guys. Is it a point of pride for you and your team that you put that blemish on their national title season?
I really want to say it's pride. We just know like if you on either team or a fan or part of like either team, you just know how important that game is. Mm-hmm. And with this like playoff extension, if the playoff extension wasn't around, they wouldn't have won the national championship. So we pretty much look at it like, hey man, like y'all had a nice little easy little run, but we helped y'all along the way. So we pretty much helped y'all build back up. And But like I said, they after that game, they dominated everybody who came in front of them. So I gotta give all credits to them.
What do you think about the law that Ohio introduced about no flag?
It's actually crazy. For like a whole month straight, they had a picture of me with the flag on the field, and they pretty much said like criminal or something like that. I mean, the picture. I'm like, bro, wow. Like I'm a criminal. I'm a criminal now just because I try to run around with a flag or plant a flag. I feel like that's actually crazy, but all I gotta say, man, hey, that's Ohio for you. That's Ohio for you. That's all I can say.
Ernest, what do you think it was that you guys did well that allowed you guys to beat Ohio State, even though they went on to win the national championship?
It's just that we never changed who Michigan was. We always pride ourselves on being the most toughest team out there on every single field. And when you get to November, that's what it's about. It's about who's the toughest team. Because it's a product when you get to November about your off-season training, really. Because every single team is banged up, every team is hurting. Everyone's going through something, right? That late in the season. And so really, who really took the off-season training to have your body right in a good enough condition where you can execute and stay still playing with the principles and the foundation of what we're built on, and that's toughness. And we hang our hats on that, but we have to do that each and every day to make sure we still strive for that.
Do you think that's what it's been that's allowed you guys to kind of flip that rivalry around?
Absolutely, I think it's played a major role, and it's going to continue always that, because that's what Michigan is. Every time you put on that wing helmet, you understand what that represents. You understand who's played before you, and you understand that it means more than just yourself putting the helmet on.
The fact they won the national championship after that, how did you watch that? I mean, were you watching them hoping they did lose, right? How did you kind of watch the playoff?
You watch a game to see if the other team wins, right? The end result is end result. I just watch the football game just to watch football. For us, it doesn't change anything, right? We played that game. We played the game 60 minutes, just like they put the helmet on. We won that game, so it doesn't mean anything to us. It doesn't diminish our win at all. But at the same time, we understand that that's last year. It's over with. As soon as that game's over, that next day, the clock starts again. As soon as we walked in that facility after that game, the clock was on for the next game to the next season.
Was it a springboard? Do you think it could serve as a springboard for this year that you beat a team like Ohio State that won the national championship? And do that one too. But gives you confidence for this year?
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. You can use that momentum going forward. Like I said, every year is different. It's a new roster, and you have to have the same level of preparation, even more each season, understanding that it's so much harder to do the same thing again twice. And like I said, now to do it for a fifth time is that much harder, right? So we have to take that account every single day and make sure that we keep ourselves that standard each day.
When you see your rival win the national championship, does that give you hunger to want to get back there yourself?
Absolutely. It's always, to see that, obviously it can always light a fire inside. But like I said before, you come to Michigan and beat Ohio State, and we went 8-5 last year. We didn't earn to be in the Big Ten Conference, we didn't the Big Ten championship or the playoff. We didn't earn that at all. And so as myself, I look back and have to individually reflect, and my team as well. And I think we've done a great job of really just making sure that we have to go back to what we know Michigan is built on, and going back to those basics, building that foundation. And I believe we're in a really good spot right now going to fall camp. I'm excited to see what we do as a team.
Max, when you got to Michigan, you guys hadn't beaten Ohio State in a long time. What do you think it is you guys have done over the last 4 years that's allowed you guys to really flip that rivalry around?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of like a day in and day out type of thing. It's how you approach that game. It's not a game that you're always talking about, but it's always in the back of your mind. And that has something to do with how we practice, how we prepare. I mean, you can talk for hours about what's different, or each week or each time we've played them, it's been something kind of different. So there's no real thing you can put your finger on, but you're always trying to work towards that game. What
do you think it was last year that allowed you guys to beat them, even though they went on to go win the national championship?
I'd say it has something to do with just how much that game means to us, how much it means to what that rivalry is. So at that point, with whatever happened throughout the season, might as well win this one, give everything you have to it.
Question about what happened after the Ohio State game with the flag stuff. Looking back on it, what do you think about what happened? Any regrets, pride? I don't know, whatever.
I mean, you don't want to have college football isn't meant for fighting. Like, you're not supposed to have. I got pepper sprayed. That one kind of sucked, but like that's not part of like what the game is about. The game, it is like, I haven't been to the other rivalry games, but I know that's probably the most heated game in college football. But I mean, at the end, it's still not supposed to happen like that.
Do you guys take a little bit of extra pride having run the table, undefeated national champion, where you were playing in a 4-team playoff, where you didn't have the margin for error, where you can now lose a couple of games and win the national championship? Do you see a little bit of a difference in the way that you guys did it a couple of years ago versus how maybe it can now be done moving forward?
Yeah, yes and no. Like, college football is an ever like living, breathing like thing. There is an element of like when you grow up watching college football, like if your team loses 1 or 2, like it's scary. Like it'll always be nice to be able to sit there and like have like the clean like 15-0. But like I think as time goes on, with more and more games, we're talking about like a 15-team playoff, like football is going to be a little different. So it'll over time, I think people will adjust to it, like how the NFL, like, teams can lose a lot of games but still make it. I think it'll kind of change. That perception will change over time.